Hey guys, welcome to our tutorial series on billing balance. It is a wonderful software for doing accounting. Now, though you in the website you will be seeing that aim.uk based small businesses and contractors, but do note that you can actually use this free software for doing accounting from anywhere in the world. The reason they have mentioned UK is it's courtesy certain taxation facilities that they have here, calculating taxes and all that. So those are very UK specific, but you can work with any currency. You can work from any part of the world and you will be able to work with it. Okay. The reason we are doing this tutorial series is, first of all, it's not only free, it is actually one of the most user-friendly softwares that are there. It's not a very complex one. It doesn't take much time to learn it. But once you get acquainted with the interface, it will be very easy for you to start working on it. And before we go into the software, I think it's very important. You need to learn a little bit about cloud accounting. What is cloud computing about, and what are the features you can expect of any kind of cloud software. So let's go ahead and let's just learn a little bit of cloud accounting, right? So we'll just go full screen on this. Okay. So when we are actually talking about cloud computing, it's not exactly it's up there in the cloud, but cloud is basically what we are referring to is a group, a platform, a place, certain servers, which is not exactly in the place where we are located. Those servers are located in a very distant place, and it is an amalgamation of three-tier programming and hardware. Okay, in the sense, like in this particular example, so there will be an infrastructure layer which will consist of various servers, computation devices, storage, and network. So this is where the hardware infrastructure is going to be. Now do note the hardware infrastructure can be based in a single place, and the infrastructure can also be like spread out across a country, or even the infrastructure can be spread out all over the world. Say if you are taking the case of Amazon, right? So Amazon has hardware all over the world. So whatever they are hosting, they are actually hosting it all over the world. So this hardware infrastructure, this infrastructure part, the hardware, where this hardware is happening in this particular cloud of services, networks, everything. This particular cloud, it can be country specific, it can be international. So on this infrastructure is running the platforms for various works. So this platform mostly is basically the programming part of it, so which has object storage, which has identity management, like we need to know who are the users who are actually using it. It has roles regarding to various identities. It has runtime works, which it does. Then there are queues that are made, and then there is databases. So all these calls that are getting called into the database. So overall, this programming side of it, this wherever all this computing thing is happening, where all this data is being processed, is part of the platform. Okay. Now, so first layer is the infrastructure, hardware infrastructure, which can be located into a central place, or it can be spread internationally. And on it runs the platforms, various platforms, like various systems, which has databases, which has various kind of software things on it. And over it runs the application. This is the database structures, and here is the infrastructure, and over it runs the application. Now, application is something we are very familiar with. We don't really, as a user, we don't really get to see this or this. If you're into IT, you must have seen the servers. If you are into programming, you must have experienced the platform part. But as a user, as a layman user, we are only concerned with the applications that are there in the cloud. Okay, so beneath the applications runs the platform, and beneath the platform runs the hardware infrastructure spread out internationally or locally. Now, what are the applications? I'll give you a very simple example of an application which is running on the cloud. Is communication tool, say a Facebook Messenger, or say Gmail, or say Outlook. So these are various email clients, these are various communication clients that are running. These are various applications which are running on this cloud. Okay, Facebook is something, Gmail is something, Outlook is something you can access from anywhere in the world. It's running on the net, right? So one important feature is this infrastructure has to be connected to the internet. Okay, so this application, whatever is running here, running on this platform and infrastructure, has to be internet based. Okay, so it's not exactly a local software we are using for Google. It's not exactly a local software we are using for Facebook, right? So it's a centralized software which is running on a platform, which is running on an infrastructure, which can be locally local based, or in case of Facebook, Amazon, Google, etc., this infrastructure is spread worldwide. Now, so an example of an application in the communication sector is Facebook, Gmail, Outlook, etc. Then what we have is collaboration. So there are a lot of applications, a lot of softwares out there running on the cloud which helps us to collaborate. Like we have something called customer relationship management, CRM, etc., where you can coordinate with people, then you can have meetings with people, and you can work on projects. There are various project softwares out there, project management softwares out there. So like Google Docs, right? Like Google Docs, or like Google Drive, Google Photos, etc., which you can share with people, which you can work on with people. So basically, in words, you can actually collaborate with people. So that falls under collaboration. Okay, then we have content, which happens to be news, which can be various magazines. So these are running on the net, but these are all software driven platforms, right? Application driven platforms. So, and all those applications are running on this platform, the programming part of it, and then the hardware part of it. Then another is obviously monitoring of data. Say suppose you're monitoring data of sales, you're monitoring various kind of activities that are there, you're doing surveys. All kind of monitoring activities that you can do can be classified under monitoring. And then there's another important portion of it, application, is things that are related with finance, and accounting is one of the most primary jobs or primary applications when it comes to cloud computing in the finance sector. I mean, it's not only confined to accounting, it has got to do with share markets. You can do a lot of things. You can do a lot of things which finance, investments, etc. But a major chunk of the cloud computing in the application is for cloud accounting. Okay, now so what we have is infrastructure spread across internationally, on which we have the programs running, or the programming part is happening, and on which are running various applications. We as consumers are hooking onto this particular cloud with the help of laptops, with the help of servers in the office, with the help of desktops, with the help of tablets, with the help of phones. We are connecting to them remotely, courtesy the internet. So whatever services are there, they are on the internet, and we can connect to them from wherever we are. So this overall structure is cloud computing. Earlier, we were only concerned with softwares inside our computers or inside our laptops, iPhones, tablets, desktops. But now the idea is the software will be hosted in a centralized platform or infrastructure, and we will be using these as a clients to log on to these software and do our work online. So effectively, we don't really have to keep on updating the software at our end. We always use a software which is hosted on a platform over an infrastructure which is spread internationally, like say Gmail or Facebook. So this, I guess, gives you a good idea of cloud computing. So let's go on to the next slide.